Have you ever wondered why some people carefully stash away their cash their entire lives, and yet they never actually become wealthy? Right? Well, welcome to today's explainer, the great saving myth. We're going to completely unpack a rule that, let's be honest, we've all had drilled into our heads since childhood. Your parents told you, your teachers repeated it, the banks absolutely encourage it, and financial gurus constantly praise it. The rule: save your money. I mean, it's universally accepted, right? But what if that universally accepted advice is really only half the truth? What if just saving your money is literally one of the biggest reasons millions of people never, ever escape the financial rat race? Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this, because it's a pretty tragic paradox when you think about it. We all know someone, maybe it's a family member or a friend, who works incredibly hard for 30 years. They responsibly squirrel away a piece of every single paycheck, they don't buy frivolous things, and they do everything quote-unquote right. Yet, when retirement finally rolls around, they look at their accounts and realize, wow, I still don't have true financial freedom. Meanwhile, you've got someone else making the exact same income, but they're quietly building investments, acquiring assets, and watching their wealth just absolutely multiply. The difference here? It is not luck. It's not that they're smarter, and they certainly aren't working harder. The difference is understanding one really simple but crucial principle. Money that sits still slowly loses its power. To really paint a picture of this, let's look at two friends. We'll call them James and Ethan. Now, they both graduate from college at age 25. They both land similar jobs, make exact same salary, and both make the conscious choice to be totally financially responsible. But you really have to notice the fundamental difference in how they view their cash. James, he asks the question he's been taught his whole life: how much money can I save? Watching that savings account balance tick up, it gives him this warm sense of security. Ethan, on the other hand, builds up a small emergency fund and then entirely pivots. He asks a totally different question: how can I make this money work for me? Let's move ahead and see how this mindset shift actually builds over time. At graduation, they're at identical starting points. Fast forward 5 years, and actually, James has a bigger savings account. Ethan's bank balance is smaller, but that's because he's been quietly buying productive assets. Now fast forward 10 years, and the wealth gap between the two is massive. It's impossible to ignore. James is still completely chained to his next paycheck, where every single unexpected expense brings a ton of stress. But Ethan's assets? They've been quietly working in the background, paying out dividends, increasing in value. His money basically started generating its own money, and it quietly pulled him way ahead of James. So the really crucial takeaway here is that the main difference wasn't their salary at all. Look, history shows us that income pays the bills, which is great, but it stops the absolute second you stop working. Assets, however, assets build true freedom. An asset continues producing value while you're literally fast asleep. That's exactly why the world's wealthiest people don't just obsess over earning a higher income, they obsess over ownership. Saving gives you stability for sure, but ownership gives you lasting growth. And honestly, confusing those two ideas has quietly robbed millions of incredibly intelligent people of their financial freedom.
Now, what's really interesting about this next point is exactly why saving cash can be so dangerous in the long run. It comes down to a silent enemy: inflation. We hear this word thrown around all the time on the news, but very few people truly grasp how it acts as this invisible force quietly working against every single dollar you save. It doesn't announce itself, it doesn't send you a warning text saying, "Hey, I'm here." It just constantly, relentlessly destroys the true buying power of your saved cash.
Okay, imagine you put $10,000 into a standard savings account today. Just picture that number on your screen. Exactly 12 months later, you log back in and the bank's screen still says $10,000. The number literally hasn't changed at all. But here is the really uncomfortable truth. That same stack of money absolutely cannot buy what it could just a year ago. The balance stayed the same, but its actual real-world buying power just plummeted. Groceries are way more expensive, gas costs more, housing is less affordable. Your dollars didn't physically vanish, but their value quietly evaporated right in front of your eyes. Think of it like trying to walk up a downward moving escalator. You know the feeling, right? You're taking steps forward, you're sweating, you're working super hard, you're doing the right thing that society taught you to do, but the escalator is constantly dragging you backward. Because while your money just sits there completely idle, the cost of living all around you keeps climbing higher and higher. You're slowly losing ground without even realizing it's happening. And this brings us to a massive mindset shift. Truly wealthy people, they don't sit around asking, how much money do I have? No. Instead, they track their money's growth rate against this invisible compounding tax. They ask, is my money growing faster than inflation? They completely understand that cash is a fantastic place to visit, but it is a terrible place to live forever. Your money desperately needs movement and purpose, because if it doesn't have it, inflation just quietly compounds against you, year after year. So what exactly is the solution here? Well, you shouldn't stop saving entirely, obviously, but you absolutely must stop treating your savings account like it's the finish line. Savings? That's just the foundation. To actually reach the destination, you need to start treating every single one of your dollars as your employee. Think about it. If every employee in a company spent the whole day just lounging on the break room couch eating pizza, that business is never going to grow, right? But if they grab their tools and get to work, productivity skyrockets. Every single dollar you own needs to be given a specific job. Now sure, some of those dollars are your emergency fund. They're the security guards protecting you. Some of them are there just to pay the monthly bills. But the rest of your dollars, they need to be put to work in engines that actively generate income. We are talking about stocks, index funds, real estate, businesses, royalties, cash flow assets, the whole shebang. You want to build multiple engines. And here's the best part. Unlike human employees, these asset engines are completely flawless. They never ask for overtime pay. They never take vacations. They never, ever retire. They just tirelessly churn out money on your behalf year after year. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when those asset engines really get going. You start tapping into what Albert Einstein supposedly called the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. Now, whether he actually said that or not, the underlying principle is insanely powerful over a span of decades. When your working assets generate money, and then that brand new money goes out and generates even more money, you tap into this magical mathematical phenomenon that can literally alter the trajectory of your entire financial life. It's basically a giant wealth snowball. At first, you pack together this tiny snowball, you roll it down the mountain, and it barely grows. Honestly, you might even look at it and laugh because it seems so small. But as it keeps rolling, it picks up more snow, it gains speed, it gets heavier, and eventually it transforms into this completely unstoppable force. Consistent investments eventually hit this incredible tipping point where they actually out-earn what you could personally save from your job in an entire year. That right there is the magic moment when money stops being this thing you frantically chase and it starts working right alongside you. But, and this is a big but, getting to that unstoppable snowball stage requires mastering the real builders of wealth. And those are ownership, patience, consistency, and time. The hardest part of this whole journey actually isn't becoming rich. It's staying consistent long enough for compounding to actually take over the heavy lifting. You know, most people panic during market downturns. They make highly emotional financial decisions, or they just completely lose patience because they expect to see massive results in like 3 months. But wealth is built over decades. You have to let those tiny dollar employees multiply into an absolute army by just giving them the time they need to do their jobs. As we wrap up today's explainer, I want you to try something. Just imagine meeting a version of yourself 10 years from today who made one single life-altering psychological shift. They didn't hit the jackpot, they didn't stumble upon some secret internet trick, they simply abandoned that old, tired mindset of how much money do I have, and they fully adopted the new mindset of how hard is my money working for me? That one single shift changes literally everything. Because financial freedom, it isn't some magical destination you just suddenly arrive at. It's a direction that is driven by small, repeated, consistent decisions. So the very next time someone gives you the classic advice to simply save more money, I want you to remember that saving alone has pretty much never made anyone wealthy. Instead, ask yourself this one absolutely crucial question today. How many of my dollars are out there working for me right now? Really take a moment to reflect deeply on your own financial system. Because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to become someone whose money quietly and constantly works for them. Now, if this explainer shifted your perspective even a little bit, be sure to join us for our next one, where we are going to dive into another massive misconception. We'll be uncovering exactly why working harder no longer makes you rich. Trust me, you definitely won't want to miss it.